What if the next decision made in Iraq decides the financial future of millions of investors around the world, including... Back to Bobby King, Iraqi Dinar News. I'm your host, Bobby King, and today's update may be one of the most important conversations we have had all year. If you want real analysis, real updates, and real insight, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification bell and become part of the fastest growing Dinar community on YouTube. Let's get into it. Iraq is standing on the edge of a moment that could either secure its economic future or drag it back into years of chaos and uncertainty. There is a great understanding between the Ministry of Finance and the central bank, and for the first time in a very long time, two of the most powerful financial institutions in the country are moving in the same direction. The central bank has refused more than once to tamper with the exchange rate. That alone should send a powerful message to the world. Stability is not an accident. Stability is a choice. The next government should stay away from the exchange rate and not manipulate it, because once political hands start playing with monetary levers, everything breaks. Confidence collapses. Investments freeze. Ordinary citizens pay the price. History has proven this again and again in country after country. When leaders respect the independence of a central bank, progress follows. When they do not, chaos follows. Here is the part that truly scares me. Iraq is approaching a critical election cycle, and elections do not always produce wisdom. Sometimes they produce ego. Sometimes they produce incompetence. Sometimes they place people in power who do not understand the delicate balance between politics and economics. The fear is not imaginary. The fear is real. What happens if the next election places an unqualified leader in the office of Prime Minister? What happens if that individual decides to undo everything that Prime Minister Al-Sudani and the central bank have carefully built? What happens if years of discipline and reform are wiped out by a single reckless decision made for personal or political gain? That is not just a nightmare for Iraq. That is a nightmare for everyone watching this transformation, and for every investor who believed that Iraq was finally taking its rightful place in the global financial system. Iraq is now on the verge of going forward with the final stages of its plan to reinstate economic strength and sovereignty in its currency system. This is not a rumor. This is not a fantasy. This is the result of years of coordination with international partners, financial regulators, and global institutions. Every step has been calculated. Every reform has been reviewed. Every risk has been examined. The country has moved from instability toward structure, from uncertainty toward planning, from chaos toward order. To lose that now because of short-sighted leadership would be devastating. It would be a betrayal of the people and of the progress that has already been made. That is why this election matters more than most people realize. This is not just about who gives the best speech or who promises the most programs. This is about who can protect the foundations that are already in place. This is about who understands that the exchange rate is not a political toy. It is a national lifeline. It is connected to trade, to imports, to exports, to inflation, to wages, to quality of life. You do not play with it. You do not experiment with it. You respect it. You leave it in the hands of professionals who understand the consequences of every small adjustment. Right now, the Ministry of Finance and the central bank are aligned. That is rare. That is powerful. That is something that should be protected at all costs. When government bodies fight each other, nations fall apart. When they work together, nations rise. Iraq has an opportunity to rise in a way that we have not seen in modern times. It has natural resources. It has strategic geographic position. It has a young population ready to build and work and contribute. All it needs is the right leadership to keep the ship steady as it moves into deep and promising waters. Investors around the world are watching every move. They are not just looking at charts and numbers. They are looking at stability. They are looking at leadership. They are looking at whether Iraq will stay the course or suddenly veer off the path. Any sign of manipulation of the exchange rate, for political reasons, will send a shockwave through the global financial community. Trust once broken is extremely difficult to rebuild. That is why this moment is so intense. That is why it feels like everything is on the line. Al-Sudani has represented a sense of order and direction. He has worked with the central bank instead of against it. He has focused on long-term solutions instead of short-term popularity. Whether he remains in power or someone like him takes his place, the most important thing is continuity. The plan must continue. The reforms must continue. The protection of the exchange rate must continue. There is no room for ego, no room for showmanship, no room for political games. People often underestimate how fragile progress can be. They assume that once things start moving forward, they will just keep moving forward. automatic. That is not how history works. Progress must be guarded. It must be defended from those who want to control it and twist it for their own benefit. Iraq now needs leaders who understand that they are caretakers, not conquerors. Servants of a future, not owners of power. So we watch this election carefully. We analyze every development. We listen to every statement. We observe every alliance. We pray that wisdom wins over ambition and that stability wins over chaos. Because if the right leadership remains in place, Iraq will not just survive, it will transform. It'll rise. It'll become an example of what is possible when a nation chooses discipline over disorder, cooperation over conflict, and vision over vanity. The next chapter of Iraq's story is about to be written, and every word of it matters. Right? Now all eyes are on Iraq. The country is closer than ever to moving forward, but one political misstep could delay everything. That is why we are watching this election cycle carefully. Stability is the key. Strong leadership is the key. And if Iraq continues on its current path, the future could finally open for its people and for investors around the world. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit the like button, share this with anyone following the Iraqi Dinar story, and don't forget to subscribe to Bobby King, Iraqi Dinar News, for real updates, real analysis, and real vision. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next update.